Alright everybody, so I finally finished my prototype of the RadRunner underseat storage box. Took a while, but I know it's a prototype, but I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. It's pretty shoddy, the box I mean, but I think it's gonna work just fine. So here it is. These are the hand straps that my kids use, so I could fit 2 kids on here. But anyway, get these out of the way. So the storage box slides out like a drawer, and it's secured with this pretty ghetto Velcro strap, but without having to design a exotic locking mechanism, this works perfectly fine. It's not going anywhere, so I'm pulling on it. So to take it out, just unstrap it here, and boom, slides right out. So I made this box out of a 1/4-inch birch plywood, pretty cheap stuff. I think it's like 20 bucks, even less than that for a 1/4 sheet. And it's put together with these plastic brackets that I 3D printed. You can see I just used a ton of screws. And when I put this together last night, I was pretty tired, so I didn't really think too hard, and it's not even straight, but whatever. It holds it's pretty solid. And I designed these drawer sliding mechanisms and printed them. And this is all out of PLA. These brackets are PETG. I don't think it really matters, to be honest. But this is PLA, and actually the orange matches the RadRunner orange pretty well, so that worked out. And it just slides in and out. So there are these runners here that attach to the stock bolts, and luckily the bolts for the passenger seat here were long enough to fit through, and I'll give you a closer look at how that's designed. So I designed some insets for the bolt to pass through and still sit flush. So you can see there, it's pretty flush. If I could get it to focus, flush enough for the jar to slide past. So you can see down, and it's pretty smooth action. Sorry for the shaky video. All right, and here's a closer look at the box. So I'm able to fit a bunch of stuff in here. I was just testing, you could put a Bluetooth speaker. I got a cheap lock and some tools. And I just used a ton of brackets and screws to put this together. You can see how there's like, the box is, this is the worst part of it here. It's a big gap. But you know what? I don't really care at this point. I'll probably stain this box to, give it a little bit of weatherproofing. Not sure if I'll paint it, kind of like the wood look. But it could hold a lot. This could probably hold 50 pounds. I'm not sure. I think the weakest part it's probably this part, but this could hold quite a bit of weight with the length. Anyway, slides in. Boom. That was pretty nice. And you could open it all the way out to here, and it still hangs. It's pretty good. You could put a sandwich in there or whatever, but we got the front basket for the bike, so we don't really need to use this to haul things necessarily, but just probably to keep stuff that we want to have around just in case of emergency. You could put a tire or something in there, tube. So that's it. You can see the spacing underneath here. There's still plenty of room. Maybe a 1/2 inch, maybe a little less between the plexiglass and the box. And I got this barely to go squeeze in there. See the front clearance, the back clearance. Oops. All right, everything fits, and you can see the foot pegs that I made here, also 3D printed and designed. I'll post all this on online. So if you want to print it at home, knock yourself out. So just to give you an idea of where I've come from with this, this is like my original design. I was gonna print a whole basket, but I had trouble with printing these, and they take a long time. So I said screw it, and I could probably make something stronger out of wood, which is true, and it is much faster. Although you wouldn't get all the, all the nice shapes there, but whatever. The original design was a sliding in and out kind of design where it would slide this far and then you pull it out. And then my buddy said, why don't you just make it a drawer? And I don't know why I didn't think of that, but it was quite brilliant. And that was pretty easy to do, actually. But that worked out better. But this is the original design. So this one has like integrated slides. This was another prototype where I would have to attach the slides onto it. You can see where it failed printing, and it was also pretty weak. The walls were thin. Now it's a nice little container, at least to keep my prototypes. This was in a prototype latching mechanism. I think it went, I don't even know what this was anymore. Here's another one where it was supposed to clamp underneath, and there was I was gonna put a lock here, but you know what? I'm not really concerned about security for this thing because I'm just gonna put a bunch of tools in it. Oh, this is a prototype for my foot peg, just to measure, make sure I got the dimensions right on the inside. Here's a prototype sliding mechanism, which was to feed into this guy. So this top slides into there, but I scrapped this whole design. You see all my little prints here. I scrapped all of that, and I ended up with this drawer mechanism. Here's a prototype drawer sliding thing, and the difference with this one is if you look inside, it goes all the way through, and I felt like this was going to be weak, whereas the final design here, I have more material catching the slide, and that's quite stronger. Anyway, in case you're interested. So that's it. And here are some extra corner brackets along with my prototype orange thing. So that's the joys of 3D printing, and what it enables you to do is kind of experiment with things and see what works, see what doesn't, and you end up with something useful at the end, hopefully, like foot pegs and drawers.